I thought I'd do a quick video on the different variations of the Australian webbing, the South African stuff, Indian stuff that we've had in recently. All World War II, all World War II dated, but quite a lot of you have been asking for this video, so I thought I'd quickly run through it. Now we'll preface this with the fact that sadly all of this lot has now sold. We knew it wasn't going to last long. It never does, it's getting so difficult to find, but still worth having a look through the variations while we have it. So I'll start with the South African stuff. So if you look at this here, you can see the ribbing that they put through it. It's quite a unique thing that you only really see on the stuff made in South Africa. The markings on the inside, well, sorry, on the outside here, you can see there. It's the same also, it's their version of the War Department arrow. You can see it's also on the pouch here. Maker's marked in the top there. Now, often, much like with the Australian stuff and the Indian stuff, you do see this ribbing through it. However, it's not the case with this particular example. And the reason for that is that although this pouch, for example, is made in Australia, you can see it in here, Australian War Department arrow there, 1943, but you can see this stripy pattern throughout, much like you quite often see in the Indian stuff. Now, the reason for this was that the Indians could mass produce webbing far quicker than anybody else could. However, they didn't have the time to sit and manufacture into the webbing itself, so they would ship out the raw materials to then be put together elsewhere. So if you compare the two here, a bit closer up, you can see very similar in general aesthetic, which is the same design for the Bren pouch, but the Indian one here, you can see the slightly different markings on the rivet compared to the the Australian one, which is very similar to the British. But it is what it is. This is quite Canadian actually, to see this in here. You normally see that only on the Canadian ones. Moving on to the other bits and pieces, there's straps there, and the equipment straps that extends the large pack, so it can go up and over your shoulder, crisscrosses over the back of the large pack to put the helmet onto the back. At some point I need to do a video on how to set up a large pack properly, because it seems to be something that a lot of people aren't aware of. Just another quick look at some things now. A lot of people would mistake this one as being a British example of a water bottle carrier. It's not got the classic kind of stripy, almost large, so to say, weave webbing to it that you would expect from a normal Indian piece. However, the giveaway with this one is the maker's mark, quite an, shall we say, floral font that you see on the Indian stuff. Same with the belt, much thicker weave than you would see on a British example, and also the lower quality of the brass work compared to a British example. You can see up here it's quite crudely cast by comparison to a kind of a standard British one. And then over here we've got the last couple of examples of the Indian frogs, one of them being Indian Air Force. Now the interesting thing you can see here, the Indians so often use different colour webbing on single pieces, and they've done it with both of these actually. You can see on the army one here, this piece here is a lot more green than the rest of it, and on the Indian Air Force one, similar thing, just a different shade of webbing. So interesting pieces all the same, but that's a bit of a very basic intro into the variations of some of the webbing used by other Commonwealth countries during World War II.